Minecraft is really complex, and I've been asking difficult questions about it with tons of people participating, so find out in this video if you know more about Minecraft than 1 million players. The first question is, what items can chickens be bred with? Well, I'm guessing you would assume that chickens can be bred with wheat seeds, and if we look at our options here, we do have wheat seeds that chickens can be bred with, but we also have the options of pumpkin wheat and beetroot seeds, wheat and beetroot seeds, or every single seed in the entire game. Now, to participate in this, be sure to comment down below your answers to all the questions we have before I reveal them in the video, and then you can later on go down and collect your score and see if you're better at Minecraft than 1 million players. And so the answer to this is... it is all seeds. So you can breed chickens with not just wheat seeds, although of course that is very possible. They can also be bred with pumpkin seeds, even something as simple as, let's say, the melon seeds. Or if you're feeling kind of fancy, you could also breed them with the beetroot seeds. Minecraft just recently added a bunch of new default skins, but how much do you know about the second default skin to ever be added to Minecraft, adding Alex? Well, Alex was added in one of these 5 updates. Let's see which one you can guess it is. Was it 1.6, 1.7, 1.8, 1.9, or 1.13? Now I'll give you a hint. This is one of the polls where the majority of people, in fact the vast majority, got this completely incorrect. It shows how much people care about default skins, I guess. And be sure to choose your answer. Well, the correct answer to when Alex was added into Minecraft was actually Minecraft 1.8. Now only 13% of people got this option correct, which is quite interesting. And 1.8 was of course the combat update, which is when Alex and Steve started appearing together in the promotional art. For the next question, how many types of mud-related blocks are in Minecraft 1.19? Of course, we have options ranging everywhere from 4 types to 10 types. Think right now of how many types of mud that you remember using inside of the game, and then pick that option. Of course, there is the standard mud block. Mud can also be crafted with wheat to give us packed mud. Then packed mud can be crafted into mud bricks. Mud bricks can be turned into mud brick slabs. We can also have mud brick stairs, and there is of course also the mud brick wall. Now you may be saying, well, that's only 6 types, so shouldn't that be the right answer, and there's no option for that? Well, there is one last type of mud related block, and that is the muddy mangrove roots. Well, counting all of these together, we have 7 types of mud blocks, and as you can see right there, that is the correct answer, with again a pretty small minority of people picking that option. Probably because mud blocks aren't actually that popular yet. Also, if you're enjoying this Minecraft quiz, be sure to leave a like on the video, comment, subscribe, and turn on notifications so that you never miss my new content in the future. We all love turtles, and it's very likely that you've planted down a turtle egg and let it hatch on top of sand. Can turtle eggs hatch on red sand? Now, of course, looking at this right now, you might want to say yes, as of course we do have these eggs planted here successfully on the sand, but turtle eggs can actually be planted on any single block. They can even be planted underwater like this, so of course them being planted on here isn't proof. When we place the turtle eggs on top of sand, you'll notice that the green particles go around them. That means that they're able to be planted in that area and hatch successfully. But if we're going to plant them on top of this sugar cane, or maybe on top of the gravel under here, we would notice that there's none of those particles that show up. And so let's find out the answer to this. It looks like we can indeed plant turtle eggs on top of the red sand, and it seems like about 77% of people knew the answer to this, which is pretty cool. If you're ever inside of the mesa biome, you can still fully have the ability to plant those turtle eggs on top of this red sand. 1.19 added a lot of things, including what's inside the deep dark, like for instance these skulk shriekers. Now they're very dangerous because, as you can see right here, they can actually be used to raise the warning level of the world and summon in a warden, and if we make these be set off too many times, that warden could spawn. So the question is, can skulk shriekers that are generated by the skulk catalysts, that's this item right here, which has skulk spread around it, can those shriekers actually spawn in the warden? Well, there's finally enough of this skulk that's grown that we have some shriekers and some sensors, and you can see we did just set off these sensors. We can even walk on top of them. And we just set off some of these shriekers, and although there is the shrieking noise, there is no darkening of the world or sound to indicate that a warden has been spawned, and so the answer is no, which the majority of people got, that skulk shriekers summoned in by the catalysts are not able to summon in wardens, because then you could summon in some warden spawning shriekers next to someone's base or some other place. Which one of these can bees not pollinate? Can they not pollinate azalea bushes, sunflowers, mangrove propagules, potted tulips, or berry bushes? bees? Well, the answer is actually quite interesting. Well, of course, bees can pollinate sunflowers, as it's just like a normal flower. And even with the flowering azalea, if we place one of these down, this baby bee will go over here and it'll start to pollinate it. What about the newest item on this list, the mangrove propagule? Well, believe it or not, the bees will actually pollinate a mangrove propagule, as you can see right here. But as well as being able to pollinate a mangrove propagule, in Java Edition, they also have the ability to pollinate the berry bush, which you can actually see this bee is doing right now. And the one thing on this list that bees cannot pollinate, believe it or not, is actually the potted tulip. In fact, any single item that's potted inside of all of Minecraft cannot be pollinated by the bees. So the answer that almost everyone got wrong is that potted tulips are the item that bees cannot pollinate. Coral is an amazing item inside of Minecraft, added in 1.13. There's a lot of variety to it, so how many different types of coral blocks and items are in Minecraft? We have options from only 10 different types of coral blocks and items, all the way up to 30 types. We have the main varieties, which is the coral blocks, as well as the coral fans, and just the standard coral items. But of course, if these are placed above water or they're mined with the wrong tools, we also have the dead variants. So we have the dead coral block, we also have the dead coral item, and the dead coral fan. And so with both living and dead varieties for both of these, and of course 5 different color types, the answer is there are 30 different types of coral blocks and items inside of Minecraft, because there's 5 different color variants and 6 different sort of other types. And of course we can have all the different variants of each other. Then that gives us a total amount of items of 30 different unique coral items inside of Minecraft. Ancient cities are an awesome new structure inside of Minecraft, but let's see how well you know them and answer this question. Can you find golden apples in ancient city chests? There's no way of finding a normal golden apple inside of the standard ancient city loot chests. If you're talking about every single chest that's able to generate inside of the ancient city, there is one chest in one specific type of central portal structure, and that is the one right here, which contains in it a singular non-enchanted golden apple, with the use of if you eat it, then the doors underneath you will open up. But because what I'm referring to is the standard loot chests that you find around the ancient city, the answer is that no, you can only find enchanted golden apples, which 12% of people guessed, meaning that most people likely assumed that you could find both enchanted and unenchanted golden apples in these loot chests, because they were likely confusing it with the loot tables that you could find in something like, let's say, an abandoned mineshaft. Parrots are a really fun pet inside of Minecraft, but what update added this mob? Well, the choices we have here are 1.11, 1.13, 1.12, 1.10, or 1.9. And I'll give you a hint that the vast majority of people got this one completely wrong. I'll give you another hint, which is that parrots are an incredibly colorful mob. Now, parrots are of course found in jungles, have no specific use to them except for the fact that they can imitate mobs that are around them, so for instance could technically warn you if there may be being a creeper or zombie nearby. But because of their colorful attire, they were added in the World of Color update, which is 1.12, and a shocking 22% of people got this correct. In fact, 62% of people thought it was not that, in fact that it was 1.13. Now I'm not really sure at all why people thought the parrot was added in Minecraft 1.13, but that is the answer that most people guessed incorrectly. Whereas in reality we got these adorably colorful parrots in the World of Color update. What items can foxes not use? Can they not use diamond swords? Can they not use chorus fruits? Can they not eat a suspicious stew? Can they not use a totem of undying? Or can they not eat cake? Well, what's surprising to think is that only one of these they can't use. All 4 others, the foxes have full capacity to use these items. They can hold in their mouth and use the diamond sword. They can also hold in their mouth and use the totem of undying. They can also pick up and use the suspicious stew. They can also pick up and use the chorus fruit. And so they might occasionally eat that and teleport somewhere. And finally the cake. Well, if we place down a cake, a fox can put it in its mouth. However, a fox cannot eat that cake. So the correct answer is that foxes cannot use cakes, which is kind of funny because if you think about all these different items, the one of them that it seems like foxes would be most likely to actually have the ability to use should be cakes. Villagers are a great and also incredibly useful mob in Minecraft, but can they wear armor? Well, if you just throw armor onto the ground, they definitely can't. But is there another way? Be sure to leave down your answer. Let's find out if we can somehow put armor onto this mob. Well, I guess a method we could try is by setting up a system with dispensers. And if we get a villager in front of there and then flick the lever, will that armor go onto the villager? Believe it or not, if there is, and we put the armor in the dispenser here, and we flick it, that villager can actually equip that armor. You could hear there the sound of it equipping. There is no armor in here, and this villager is now very protected. So for instance, with this diamond sword, we can actually see that that villager is fully protected there. So the answer is yes, villagers can wear armor, which only a third of people got correct. But now know that next time you get a really good villager you want to protect, be sure to make a system like this where you can equip armor onto that villager. What mob in Minecraft has the most possible loot drops? Is it the zombie, witch, wither, skeleton, mushroom, or guardian? Well, the answer to this one may surprise you. Most people would assume it's the witch, and for instance, if we kill some of these witches right here, you can see that there's a massive variety of different items that they drop. From gunpowder to redstone dust to sticks, even glowstone dust, glass bottles, spider's eyes, and if you kill them when there's a potion in their hand, they can even drop that potion. This is actually not the mob with the most types of items that it can drop. The incredibly common zombie mob. That's because zombies can wear armor, and so the amount of armor drops is massive, and of course they can drop a lot more than, let's say, the skeleton can, because they have the additional drops of the iron ingot, the potato, the carrot, as well as sometimes having a sword or a shovel. So technically, the mob in the game that has the most possible loot drops is the zombie. Brewing is a really fun part of Minecraft. What was the last update to add a new potion to the game? Well, it could be anything from 1.17, 1.12, 1.16, 1.13, or 1.14. Let's find out which one it was. We did have some new potions fairly recently. Well, the two newest potions in the game involve the phantom membrane as well as the turtle shell. Putting the turtle shell into the brewing stand will give us a potion of the turtle master, and putting a phantom membrane into the brewing stand will give us a potion of slow falling. And both these items were added in the same update, meaning that the last update to add new potions was 1.13, as that was the update that added turtles into the game, and also the update that added the controversial phantoms into the game. However, most people got this wrong, with only 18% saying 1.13, and with the vast majority of people saying 1.16, likely because 1.16 is a version that a lot of players return to. Which one of these items is fireproof? Is it the wooden fence gate? Is it the barrel that our little storage area here is made out of? Is it the compost? Or is it the kelp block? Or is it the bookshelf? Well, the only real way of finding it out is to burn our house down. Looks like already the walls are starting to burn down, so that gets rid of the idea that the composter is not able to be burned. It definitely is. But as well as that, there appears to be holes in the roof already, so wooden fence gates are also able to be burnt. And the bookshelves on the corner of the house are all but obliterated. In fact, even the kelp block floor is completely burnt. The only thing that's left untouched is our sorting system barrels here. And so the answer is that barrels are the one item of this list that cannot be burnt. And in fact, this is one of the polls where the most amount of people got this wrong, where only 13% of people thought that barrels could not be burnt, whereas 54% thought wooden fence gates could not be burnt, 15% said composter, and 16% said kelp block. Fossils are a really fun item inside of Minecraft, but where do they generate? Well, they can generate inside of the desert as well as the swamp. But can they generate in the fairly new mangrove swamp? Well, let's answer that question by trying to find a fossil in the mangrove swamp. Well, here is the mangrove swamp, and let's go directly beneath it, and if there's a fossil down there, then of course they can generate. If we go quite low down, we can see there is some bones, so it must be that fossils can generate inside of the mangrove swamp. However, the answer isn't quite that simple, because it's actually a bit of a trick question as it's version dependent. Inside of Java Edition, the fossils can generate inside of the mangrove swamp. However, inside of Bedrock Edition, they can only generate inside of the standard swamp and inside of the desert biomes. There is an insanely large amount of different things that you can use to smelt inside of Minecraft. And of course the question that everyone wants to know is, what is the best fuel in the game? Well, we have as options here coal, kelp, lava, or wood. We'll start with the dried kelp block, then we'll try coal, oak logs, as well as a lava bucket. Of course there's tons of different ways of judging how good a fuel is. For instance, dried kelp blocks can be farmed almost completely automatically, and the coal item is very common to be found and can smelt 8 items each. And then finally we have the lava bucket. Now the lava bucket is the completely decided winner here, not only that it can now be infinitely farmed, but also the fact that one lava bucket will smelt literally 100 items, and you even get the bucket back. So it wouldn't even be that difficult to make an almost fully automatic lava bucket farm. Here's a really fun question that we can all answer now somewhat, and that is, what do you think Minecraft 1.20 will be? Well, of course, having it be sort of an unnamed update that doesn't have a massive theme was something that people didn't really expect, and so I didn't even have an option for that, but I did have an option for other, so we'll just assume that that is what it is. But the options we had were end update, PvP update, archaeology update, biome update, or other. Now, to be fair, considering the fact that the jungle is now going to have this new use for its bamboo with all these new bamboo wood blocks, and the desert's also getting upgraded with the camel, in a sense it is sort of a biome update, but only 12% of people guessed a biome update and 5% guessed other, with a definitive majority of 53% saying that it would be an end update. But it is still interesting to see that basically no one expected the Minecraft 1.20 update to be what it's been so far. Which one of these 4 mobs are the most dangerous hostile mobs in Minecraft? Is it the Evoker, is it the Elder Guardian, is it the Shulker, or is it the Piglin Brute? Well, the Piglin Brute is definitely incredibly dangerous. However, one of the main weaknesses of the Piglin Brute is the fact that it can just be stuck in a boat, and then you can hit it really easily. And the answer is not likely to be the Shulker either, because you could fairly easily kill the Shulker if you're just in survival mode with nothing on, as its only attack can simply be destroyed by punching it. And although of course the Elder Guardian gives the mining fatigue effect, it's actually fairly easy because if you have invisibility on, the Elder Guardian will not target you at all. I would say the most difficult mob of this type is definitely going to be the Evoker. That's because it has 2 attacks, the first one being with the fangs as well as summoning in the Vexes, and the Vexes actually cause quite a bit of damage. Also, even if it's stuck in a boat, both of those attacks can still be fairly functional. The question is, which food source is the best? Well, the choices we have to look between are the Golden Carrot, Dandelion Suspicious Stew, Enchanted Golden Apple, and Cooked Pork Chop. So Golden Carrots are good because they give you a lot of saturation but not a lot of hunger value. Enchanted Golden Apples are great because you get all these different effects like regeneration, absorption, resistance, and fire resistance. However, the problem is that in terms of their actual food value, they're not that good. The Pork Chop is actually a really good food source, and it has the exact same amount of hunger value as the steak does, but it is also not the best because the amount of saturation it gives is not massive. In fact, the best food item in the entire game, which only 6% of people voted on, is the Suspicious Stew. That's because the Dandelion Suspicious Stew gives you an insanely high amount of saturation, way more saturation than any other food item in the entire game. That means that, let's say right here we're hurt by this baby husk, you can see our health almost instantly regenerates there. Now, in my opinion, Minecraft definitely needs to add new golems to the game. In fact, having an update that adds, let's say, maybe 5 new golems to Minecraft would be really great. But as of right now, there's literally only 2 strictly golem mobs in the game, and that is the Iron Golem and the Snow Golem. Both of these mobs were added quite a while ago. The question is, which one of these golems was added first? Was the Iron Golem added first, or was the Snow Golem added first? Well, they're both sort of defensive mobs, with the Iron Golem going after any mob that would hurt a villager, and with the Snow Golems also trying their best to fight mobs. Either way, the answer is that the Snow Golem was added first. In fact, the Iron Golem wasn't added until far after villagers were added in the 1.2 update, but the Snow Golem was added far before that, in fact before the game was fully released. And thankfully the majority of people got this right, with 75% of people guessing that the Snow Golem was added first. Anyway, be sure to calculate it all up and see if you're better at Minecraft than the over 1 million people that participated across all of these polls combined. I'll see you in the next video and have a great day. Goodbye.